for Dodger Baseball. Live from Dodger Stadium, Prime Tickets presents the Dodgers as they take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Monday evening to you, wherever you may be. Two clubs really going in a different direction. The Dodgers have won 4 in a row. The D-backs have lost 2 in a row. The D-backs are 8.5 games behind the Dodgers. However, last year when things were going well for Arizona, they beat the Dodgers 10 of 18 and 6 of the 9 played here at Dodger Stadium. Talking about last year, tonight you have last year's 21-game winners going head-to-head. It's Ian Kennedy and Clayton Kershaw. Each beat the other's team 3 times without a loss. So this could really be something. Pull up a chair. We'll be back with the ball game right after this.
Baseball here at the Ravine. Arizona Diamondbacks in town. A little mini 2-game series out here at center field, hanging out with Kenny Lofton and Steve Lyons. And if your buddy says to you, hey, I got an extra ticket to the game, my first question is always, who's pitching? well, tonight, guess what? It's Ian Kennedy and Clayton Kershaw. It's our Hyundai Key. It's an outstanding matchup.
Kershaw wins the Cy Young last year. Kennedy's top 4, and they both won 21 games. Kennedy's from right down the road here at Huntington Beach, so he's kind of coming home. This is a guy that's going to pound the strike zone and keep you off balance. He's got a good running fastball, also a nice changeup. Not pitching as well this year as he did last year, but he has pitched well against the Dodgers.
I think about Kershaw. He's been throwing the ball well, but at times he kind of throws too many balls. And I think at times all you got to do is right now is keep the ball in the zone. And right now these hitters, with Arizona, pretty much when they're down, you just kind of keep beating them with it or whatever. So I think that's where I look at it right now.
All right, so Clayton's got him right where he wants him. Expect a great matchup.
Kick him while they're down.
When we come back,
Exactly.
Vince Scully has the call. Of course, we'll see you for our Dodgers Live postgame.
Jack in the Box. Try Jack's Value Deal. It's chicken nuggets, a Junior Jack, value fries, and a drink, all for $3.99 plus tax. By 76 Gas, we're on the driver's side. By San Manuel, Indian Bingo and Casino, play Lucky 7 Bingo. You could win $100,000. And by Time Warner Cable. Hi, everybody, and a very pleasant Monday evening to you, wherever you may be. Welcome to Dodger Stadium, Game 1 of the brief two-game series between the Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks, and a couple of very talented pitchers going head-to-head. Clayton Kershaw for the Dodgers, Ian Kennedy for Arizona. For the Diamondbacks, they come in here struggling, as Kirk Gibson, however, took a page out of Sparky Anderson's book. Sparky Anderson used to talk about a new season, saying you don't know your team for the first 40 games. Well, Gibson now has seen his team for 35 games, and they've been up and down. At the start of the year, Arizona went 7-3, but since then, 8-17, and for that matter, since the 2nd of May, they've won 2 games and lost 9. So let's take a look at their lineup. Willie Bloomquist at short, Aaron Hill at second, and Justin Upton in right field. Jason Kubel in left field, Paul Goldschmidt at first, Miguel Montero behind the plate. Ryan Roberts at third, A.J. Pollock in center field, and Ian Kennedy on the mound. On the mound for the Dodgers, the 24-year-old left-hander Clayton Kershaw, seeking his 50th career win tonight. He'd like to be one of only 5 starting pitchers with 50 or more wins and an ERA under 3. He would join such marvelous pitchers as Jim Palmer, Andy Messersmith, Tom Seaver, and Pedro Martinez. For Clayton, 49 wins and a 2.8 ERA. Interestingly enough, this year, Kershaw has been strangely vulnerable to left-hand hitters. After yielding a 178 batting average and only 3 home runs allowed to left-handers last year, he's already given up 3 home runs to lefties, and they're hitting .286 against him. However, in the Arizona lineup, they only have 2 left-handers, Kubel and Montero. Meanwhile, Matt Kemp, who had an MRI today, and the report really, as he stands alongside Dave Hansen, is the fact that he is day to day. But you can bet they'll be very, very careful. So with 399 straight games played, it might very well have come to an end tonight. Willie Bloomquist will start it off. Willie, right-hand hitter, and has a look at the first pitch, and net misses for ball 1. 1-0 the count to Willie. First home run he ever hit, a grand slam home run. That was 9 years ago with Seattle. Willie swings, pops it in the air to right center. A trio of Dodgers. The middleman is Ethier to make the catch, and just like that, 1 away. We can set the Dodgers with the leather. Abreu, Gwynn, and Ethier in the outfield, with Kennedy, Gordon, Ellis, and Loney on the infield, and A.J. Ellis handling Clayton Kershaw. It's a beautiful evening, 68 degrees here in the ballpark. Tony Gwynn playing center for the sideline Matt Kemp, and the batter now is Aaron Hill. Aaron Hill, as he checks in at the plate, had a stretch that just ended where he reached base safely in 21 straight. Right-hand hitter takes off the plate. Hitting after him would be Justin Upton, who has really been struggling. In fact, when you ask people about the fact Arizona having all of its troubles, they say, well, Upton has just not gotten started. For Aaron Hill, hate to describe him as a pop-up hitter because he's not, but he pops up a lot. He would be the second highest in pop flies as far as percentage of at-bats. He's from Visalia, went to school at LSU, and was originally signed by the Blue Jays back in 2003. 1-2 the count to Aaron Hill. He holds up on a pitch high and away. A.J. Ellis backing off, ready to throw the ball down to third. I think maybe A.J. thought that was strike 3. So 2-2 the count. Why is Arizona struggling? Well, they're going to check it first. No swing, says Tim McClellan. So, okay, we got that out of the way. So A.J. Ellis thought certainly that was strike 3. Among other things, Arizona swings and misses at a very high rate, second highest in the league. 2-2 pitch on the way, swung on, high fly ball to left, playable. Bobby Abreu was there to make the catch, 2 down. What it means, of course, a lot of swinging and missing. It means Gibson can't afford to put on plays as he stands alongside Alan Trammell. He can forget about hit and run with a ball club that swings and misses a lot. Another thing plaguing them, of course, has been the fact they have not played well on the road. Well, what's the problem with Justin Upton? He is a superbly gifted player, but he had a very bad year against the Dodgers last year. Right-hand hitter, hitting only .225 and takes a strike. Well, let's look at what he has done and what he hasn't. He doesn't put the first pitch in play as much. He was much more successful in doing that last year. In fact, his first at-bat is very interesting. He takes away. Last year, his first at-bat, he hit .299. This year, his first at-bat, .174. So it's a totally different Upton, at least for the moment. The 1-1 pitch on the way, tight to the kneecaps, ball 2. He had .289 and he had 31 home runs last year. He has 3 home runs right now. One reason, not hitting right-handers and not hitting at home. He takes in the dirt and the count runs 3-1. So Clayton Kershaw trying to win his 50th. Trying to win his 3rd of the year. He's done very well. He's won 6 of his last 7 against Arizona. Last year he just overwhelmed them. He was 3-0 and his earned run average against Arizona 1.4. Upton swings, doesn't get the next pitch, and the count 3-2. Upton has another problem. He gets called out on strikes a lot. So up there 3-2, Kershaw trying to get him for the 3rd out in the first inning. On deck, Jason Kubel. And the 3-2 pitch swung on and hit into right field for a base hit. So Justin Upton perking up with a base hit to right. And Jason Kubel coming up. Of course, also when you talk about Arizona having its problems early in the going, Daniel Hudson won 16 games for Kirk last year. He's sidelined with a bad shoulder. Chris Young crashed into an outfield wall, hurt his shoulder. Stephen Drew wrecked his ankle last year, and they just don't know when he's going to be ready. And Takashi Saito, former Dodger, a reliever, has a sore calf. So here's Kubel. They're also saying that, among others, they expect Young and Hudson back pretty soon. But Stephen Drew, a big question mark. So Upton, who runs well, cautious lead at first. Kershaw just looks over at him. Now the pitch to the plate, crowding the hitter, but it's in for a strike. And the count 0-1. Jason Kubel was over in the American League with the Minnesota Twins. 3 years ago, he hit for the cycle against the Angels. And the last at bat to complete the cycle was a grand slam home run to win the game. Throw to first, and Upton back on the bag. For Justin Upton, he has stolen 5 out of 6. And of course, Kershaw, the left-hander, out of a stretch and just looking over at him. 0-1 the count to Jason Kubel from South Dakota. Lives now here in California in Palmdale. Strike 1 pitch, slow breaking ball off the plate. 1-1 the count. So Kershaw working against a left-hander. One of only 2 in the lineup. Jason 5'11", a good 205 pounds, and Upton takes his lead. Kershaw out of that elongated stretch of his. And the 1-1 pitch is swung on and missed. 1-2. Kubel, when he was with Minnesota in 2009, That's been his big year. He had 28 home runs and 103 runs batted in. Grew up following the Dodgers, the Angels, and the Padres. Another throw to first, up and back on the bag easily. Kubel makes the pitchers work. He's the third highest. He averages 4.5 pitches every at bat. Kershaw ready, looks at first. We're in the first inning, no score. Kubel lifts it on the left side. It will be the third baseman, Adam Kennedy, and that will be that. No runs, 1 hit, and a man left. And at the end of half an inning, it's time for Ian Kennedy to go to work. No score. Look at Don Mattingly's lineup, and you have Dee Gordon at short with Mark Ellis at second and Bobby Abreu hitting in Matt Kemp's spot. Andre Ethier followed by A.J. Ellis, who has moved all the way up to the 5th slot, followed by James Loney. Adam Kennedy is playing third base. Tony Gwynn in center. Clayton Kershaw on the mound. On the mound for Arizona, the pride of Huntington Beach, and that would be Ian Kennedy out of USC. First round pick by the Yankees, and the first pitch is a line drive base hit into left field. Jason Kubel picks it up, and Dee Gordon opens up the game with a bullet to left, and that'll bring up Mark Ellis. So Gordon figures to put a little heat on Kennedy. Dee Gordon has stolen 12 out of 17. Mark Ellis has proven day in and day out to be a wonderful number 2 hitter. He has the patience to let Gordon try to go. So as he checks in, Mark batting .272, 1 home run and 7 runs batted in. Kennedy out of his stretch throws to first and Gordon back. Ian Kennedy last year 21-4, great ERA of 2.8. Gordon inching off the bag against him. Now Kennedy set. Tall right-hander ready. So is Mark Ellis, and Kennedy backs off the rubber. Ian, 27 years old. He'd be 28 the middle of December. That 21-game victory kind of shook everybody up because the year before he was just 9-10. The pitch in for a strike. Ellis waiting to see if Gordon can read and then get a jump. Ian, as we said, drafted by the Cardinals when he was just coming out of La Quinta High School, said no. At La Quinta, he was a teammate of Ian Stewart. Then he accepted to a scholarship to USC and dominated college hitters. Gordon trying to find an opening and get a jump. Ellis waiting. Strike 1 pitch is taken for another strike. So Ellis said, well, I've given you my best shot. I'm now in a hole 0-2, and Gordon is still standing at first base. Kennedy came up with the Yankees in 07, just 1-0. In 08, he was 0-4, and in 09 with the Yankees, no record. Right-hander turns, throws to first. What are the differences, if any, for Kennedy? Well, last year his earned run average 2.8. Right now it's 3.9. Left-hand hitters are hitting him hard, and now he throws one away, trying to pick up Gordon, and there's a rabbit loose. Gordon goes all the way to third. So Ian Kennedy trying to pick off D. Gordon on a no-ball, two-strike count to Mark Ellis. The throw was behind Gordon, so that at first base Goldschmidt couldn't get to it. It went way down the line, and Gordon made third very, very easily. So Goldschmidt just couldn't get to it. Gordon's body was in the way. Error charge to Kennedy, and the Dodgers now with a runner at third, nobody out. First inning, we're just starting. Out of a stretch goes Kennedy. Ellis takes a pitch up around the eyes. 1-2. Ellis trying to pick his man up at third, and Kennedy trying to keep him there. Interesting too about Kennedy, his earned run average is much, much higher at home than on the road. He has a fake at third. At home last year 2.6, this year 5.4, so it's a totally different spot for him. And he is also having a terrible time with the first two hitters in the lineup. Pitch fouled away. The first two hitters in the lineup this year are hitting .364 against Kennedy. So here you had Gordon hit the first pitch for a base hit, go to third on the bad pickoff throw, and now Ellis, Abreu, and Ethier trying to pick Gordon up. Kennedy from a stretch, and the 1-2 pitch is going to be a one-hopper to the right side. That will score Gordon, and the out at first as Mark Ellis picks up the run batted in, and Gordon brings it home. So just like that, base hit, bad pickoff, and a clutch ground ball the other way. And now Bobby Abreu coming up as the Dodgers score first and lead 1-0. Dodgers have really done a number on the Western Division. They're 12-4. So here's Bobby Abreu, had that key double yesterday into left center field with the bases loaded and scored 3. Dodgers really a first inning ball club this year. Here's the first pitch to Abreu, and he takes a little low ball one. Bobby hitting .304. Picked up 3 RBIs at one swing yesterday to give him 4 since joining the club. Dodgers have now scored 29 runs in the first inning. The 1-0 pitch bunted foul. 1-1. So Abreu with the infield swung around a bit to first, and Ryan Roberts is not even in calling distance to the bag at third base. So that's so inviting. So Bobby tried it, 1 ball and 1 strike with the infield back. Kennedy into the windup. Ian delivers, and that's a little low. 2 balls and 1 strike the count. One thing that Kirk Gibson was talking about, quoting Sparky about you really don't know your team for the first 40 games. He also reminded the team about last year. The 2-1 pitch swung on and missed 2-2, 92-mile-an-hour fastball. Last year, Gibson said, remember, we were 15-22. But the only difference between this year and last, we were playing good ball last year. We're playing bad ball, and we're 15-20. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way. Whack to right field, but coming up is Upton and handles the line drive. So 2 down in the first inning. Abreu lining out, and Andre Ethier coming up. Clayton Kershaw could use the rest. He made 17 pitches in the first inning, but he's leading 1-0. Ian Kennedy talking about the Dodgers being successful against Western Division teams. Last year for Arizona, he was 10-0 against the National League West. So Ian looks over the tips of his glove to get a sign. And Andre Ethier hitting .302 at the plate. First ball swinging, fouls it back, and the count 0-1. Dodgers leading 1-0. Andre Ethier comparing this year to last at the end of 34 games. Last year he was hitting .275. Tonight batting .302. Half swing, fooled on the pitch, and the count 0-2. Last year after 34, 1 home run. This year, 7. Last year, RBIs, 15. This year, 32. So you get the drift. The strike 2 pitch on the way. Bad ball off the plate. Took a half-hearted swing and strikes out. So Andre had a tough at bat against Kennedy, but the Dodgers get a run. Clayton Kershaw going back to work, 1-0. Kennedy's bad pickoff. He made 14 pitches. D. Gordon took advantage of it after a base hit, went all the way to third. Mark Ellis, as usual, with 2 strikes, was able to pick him up. The first pitch to Paul Goldschmidt is high, ball 1. Goldschmidt hitting .227, 2 home runs, 15 runs batted in. He is a big man. He's 6'3", 245, and hits a little pop fly. It will be the second baseman, Mark Ellis, and that'll be that. Price of gold is going down as well. 1 away. And the batter now, Miguel Montero. So the veteran catcher, Miguel Montero, who means a great deal to Arizona. He was an all-star last year. This year, among other things to plague him, he's hit into 5 double plays. But he's a workhorse of all the catchers in the major leagues. This year so far, he's caught 267 innings. Kershaw into the windup and delivers, and Montero takes a strike on the inside corner. A.J. Ellis trying to check and see just how many innings he's been in, but he's been in 27 games. Here's the strike 1 pitch. Montero takes high. 1 ball and 1 strike. So Clayton Kershaw leading 1-0. He has 1 out, second inning. Now the left-hander comes back, 1-1. Fastball up, ball 2, 2-1. Remember, we told you that this year, for whatever reason, he is having some trouble against left-hand batters. Kershaw ready in his 2-1 pitch, swung on and missed. 2-2 to Miguel. Miguel, 2 years ago, won the Good Guy Award, giving to the player who most fosters a positive relationship with the media. And down he goes, though Kershaw picks up his first strikeout of the night. And with 2 out in the second inning, Ryan Roberts coming up. Breaking ball for the called third strike. And here's Ryan Roberts, right-hand hitting third baseman. Last 11 games, he's hitting .320, so you can imagine how hard he labored before that, because he's only hitting .202. 2 home runs, 13 runs batted in, and the right-hand hitter takes off the plate, ball 1. 1-0. Last year, like so many other Arizona Diamondbacks, he had a big year. The 1-0 pitch swung on and fouled away. Translation for the big year, he had 19 home runs, 65 runs batted in. Ryan, heavily tattooed, wore the Dodgers out last year, hitting .320 with 5 homers. He's off the campus of the University of Texas in Arlington. The 1-1 pitch on the way, and Ryan backs away, ball 2. Of all the tattoos, the one most inspirational is the one on his left arm. He has his initials a R and the words, "Only the strong survive." Here's the 2-1 pitch, swung on, hit in the air to center and pretty deep, but on the run is Tony Gwynn to make the catch. So Kershaw sets him down in order, and at the end of an inning and a half, Dodgers 1, D-backs nothing. One to nothing, bottom of the second inning. A.J. Ellis, James Loney, and Adam Kennedy. And Ian Kennedy delivers a strike, 0-1. One of the huge surprises in the early going, A.J. Ellis. Can you believe he is third in the major leagues with an on-base percentage? He takes a strike, third in the major leagues. He's been on base either by hit or walk 23 straight and 26 out of the last 27. He's had 21 walks. Strike 2 pitch is swung on and fouled off. With runners in scoring position, he's been an absolute hero, hitting .385, and he has more than held his own, hitting .322 against right-handers. Kennedy into his windup, right-hander back, and it's swung on, sliced, and going down the right field line, foul. So it's still 0-2 to A.J. Ellis. Third among major league catchers with that .317 average, and if that isn't not enough, he has cut down 39% of fellas attempting to steal. So it has been a remarkable 34 guns for A.J. Ellis, plus 128 to go. Strike 2 pitch high, ball 1, 1-2. Dodgers lead 1-0. Gordon hit the first pitch for a base hit. Kennedy tried to pick him off and threw it away, and Mark Ellis picked him up. Meanwhile, A.J. Ellis strikes out on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball. The ceremonial first pitch tonight was a delight to see. Warm welcome to the guests all the way from London. 9-year-old Sophia Grace and approximately 5-year-old Rosie. You might have seen them on the Ellen DeGeneres show or maybe on the web videos online, but they were absolutely delightful. Matt Guerrier and Matt Trainer certainly enjoyed having their picture taken with the little darlings who are all dressed up. Meanwhile, 1 down, here's Loney, and he takes ball 1, 1-0. 1 away, second inning, 1-0 Dodgers. James on this homestand is beginning to perk up. He takes low, ball 2. Granted, he's only hitting .233, but in the first 6 games of this homestand, he's hitting .368 and just under .300 for all the home games. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Loney, and he takes high, ball 3, 3-0. In looking at Kennedy's work, Loney last year had a home run against him and hit .364. Matt Kemp homered twice against him. Loney takes very high. So with 1 out after 2 strikeouts, Kennedy issues a walk. And another Kennedy, Adam Kennedy, coming up. Kennedy, you think of him as a second baseman. He can play just about anywhere on the field. He's playing third. He played a lot of third at Oakland. So Adam checking in. He has played in 1,333. So he's been in more games than any other active major leaguer playing at second base. And the first pitch to him is in for a strike, and the count 0-1. He had that pretty squeeze to get a run home for the Dodgers. That was yesterday in the 7th inning. So Adam waiting. Dodgers lead 1-0, bottom of the second. Loney at first. Now the strike 1 pitch on the way. Kennedy tries to lift it, grounds it to Bloomquist. They get a force play, and that's all. So Kennedy forcing Loney with a ground ball to short, and we have 2 down. Dodgers hurting. You know that Juan Rivera is on the DL. You know that Hairston is on the DL. Jerry went down with the same hamstring. Juan Uribe just went down. Matt Kemp is day to day, but when Uribe went down, they're playing Kennedy, and they brought up Elian Herrera. And he comes up to play the infield. He might be here. He'll wear uniform number 37. So here's Tony Gwynn hitting .271. Out of a stretch goes Kennedy, and now he wants Montero to go over the signs again. So Gwynn, who made that dazzling catch of the ball hit by Carlos Gonzalez yesterday in the 5th inning. It was as good a catch as you're ever going to see. The pitch to Tony, and that's inside. 1 ball and no strikes. So Gwynn's so valuable, playing anywhere in the outfield, and now with Matt Kemp resting, he's given a big job of covering center field. Tony hitting .317 against right-handers, takes high, throw to first, not in time, reasonably close. Kennedy got back standing up. One reason that Goldschmidt didn't get him, he starts the tag in foul ground. I think we've told you that so many times. But if you start going by way of foul ground, you never get the guy, ever. At least the man who taught me that, Branch Rickey, was right 99% of the time. 2-0 the count. Gwynn waits. Tony looks. It's in the dirt. Nice block by Montero. So 3-0 to Gwynn. We have 2 down. Kennedy at first and Kershaw on deck. One nothing Dodgers. Second inning. Game one of a very brief 2-game series. Chad Billingsley and Wade Miley tomorrow night. 3-0 pitch, and that's a strike. And they count 3-1. 2 streaks on the line. The Dodgers have won 4 straight. Arizona comes in here having lost 2 straight. But the Dodgers know Gibson and company beat them 10 out of 18 last year and 6 out of 9 here. Now the 3-1 pitch to Gwynn. Kennedy deals, taking all the way for a strike, and they count 3-2. So Gwynn trying to get aboard with Kershaw following. Kershaw has 2 hits so far this year. Kennedy ready to go, full count, 2 out. There he goes, and the pitch swung on. Little looper towards left center, and a great backhanded catch by Willie Bloomquist, and he fell down on the grass but held on to it. Nice play. So no runs, no hits, a walk and a man left, and at the end of 2, 1-0 Dodgers. Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw will now be pitching to A.J. Pollock, Ian Kennedy, and Willie Bloomquist. A.J. Pollock kind of threw me for a curveball because I saw the A.J., and I always figure people like to know the true name. Pitch outside, ball 1, and according to my book, his name is Alan Lorenz Pollock IV. And we thought Alan Lorenz, he should be A.L. The 1-0 pitch, he tries to bunt, leaves it in Ellis mid. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, it turns out that the J, he says, is for Junior. AJ stands for Alan Jr. Pollock IV. Who's to argue with a guy from Notre Dame? The 1-1 pitch swung on, line drive, base hit into center field. So a Rose by any other name sounds a sweet, and Pollock a base hit. And that'll bring up Ian Kennedy. Pollock, by the way, last year in Mobile stole 36 bases. So the Dodgers will have to keep an eye on him. Meanwhile, here is Kennedy. Ian Kennedy checking with Matt Williams coaching at third. He has 1 sacrifice. He's really 0 for 12. Throw to first, and Pollock back on the bag. Of course, come to think of it, Kenny Landreau was always called KT. And someone said, what's the T stand for? He said, nothing. What's your middle name? Antoine. And the pitch bunted sharply to first. Loney looks at second, then throws to first. So Kennedy gets the bunt down. Pollock advances to second, and with 1 out, Willie Bloomquist will try to pick him up. 1-0 Dodgers, first inning. D. Gordon hit the first pitch of the game, single to left. Ian Kennedy tried to pick him off and threw it away. Gordon going all the way to third, and typical of Mark Ellis, he waited, had 2 strikes, and then hit a ground ball to pick him up. So Gordon gives the Dodgers a 1-0 lead, and now Bloomquist trying to get Pollock home to tie it up. Mark Ellis trying to hold the runner on at second a wee bit. Good late breaking pitch in for a strike, and the count 0-1. Bloomquist went to Arizona State. 5'11", 195. He's from Bremerton, Washington. Now the strike one pitch. Ellis again faking to the bag, then goes to the bag, gets a throw, but not in time, and Pollock back to the bag. So A.J. Pollock with a base hit now at second, representing the tying run. The book, as we said, says he can run, so they're going to have to watch him very carefully. Bloomquist waiting for a no-ball, 1-strike count. Kershaw look back at second. Fastball is hit foul off to the right, and that will carry out of play. And the count now on Willie, no balls and 2 strikes. When Willie was in high school, he was the starting quarterback and the safety in one of Washington's best high school football programs. So he's a fine athlete. The Mariners drafted him out of high school, but he opted to go to college. Rice University wanted him, a baseball scholarship. A bunch of others put scholarships on the table, and he selected Arizona State. He swings, hits one into right center. Hesitating was Pollock, and they're going to try to stop him, but the stop sign is late, and he is out at the plate. Pollock unable to score from second on the base hit to center. Matt Williams looked like he started to send him in. Then Matt tried to stop him, but it was too late. And Pollock kept coming and was nailed on a good throw by Tony Gwynn. Williams is waving him, and then by the time he says stop, my gosh, the guy had to have hydraulic brakes to stop, and he's out at the plate. So really, I think you would chalk that one up to Matt Williams, and he's big enough man to accept it. Good play by Tony Gwynn. 2 down, it's still 1-0 Dodgers. Bloomquist at second, and here's Aaron Hill. And he holds up on ball 1. So Bloomquist, a base hit to center, takes second on the throw to the plate, and Pollock told to stop way too late and nailed. 1 ball and no strikes the count. Kershaw, a big stretch. Time for the moment, however, as Aaron Hill backed out. So the Dodgers still leading 1-0. Hill, right-hand batter of Visalia, hitting .242. The 1-0 pitch swung on, grounded foul outside of third and down the line. Aaron still lives in Visalia. He used to go to the Oaks games up there in the California League. The Angels picked him in the 7th round coming out of high school, but he accepted a scholarship to LSU. So Aaron Hill waiting at the plate. The 1-1 pitch on the way, swung on, grounded foul outside at third. For Aaron, when you ask him what's your most memorable athletic experience, he said playing ball for Team USA. He has a brother, Michael, who plays college ball. His dad was a draft pick for the Oakland A's, and his mom was an excellent sprinter. 1-2 the count. Out of a stretch goes Kershaw, leading barely 1-0. Fastball off the plate, and the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Clayton trying to pick up his 50th career victory, trying to get his record to 3-1. He has Bloomquist the tying run at second, but he had Pollock the tying run at second, erased at the plate. Now the 2-2 pitch coming up. Fastball in the dirt, smothered there by A.J. Ellis, and a new ball put in play. Kershaw made 28 pitches in the first 2 innings. He has Justin Upton on deck. He has made 12 pitches so far here in the third. He has made 40 pitches in the game. 3-2 the count to Aaron Hill. Out of a stretch goes Kershaw. Looks at second. Fastball fouled away. Good location. Hill with good plate coverage, able to go down and get it. Aaron is a guitar player. Played a lot in the church band in high school. 3-2 the count. Again, Kershaw ready. Looks at Bloomquist. Back with a pitch that's lifted into shallow left center. Going out is Gordon and makes the catch in front of Tony Gwynn. So the Dodgers get a tough call for Matt Williams. Arizona pays the price and has a runner cut down at the plate, and it's still 1-0 Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw leads off the third, takes a pitch at the ribs and backs off. 1 ball and no strikes. Kershaw hitting 167. Up even with the bag at third is Ryan Roberts, and the pitch low and inside, ball 2. Clayton, as he stands at the plate, 2 for 12, but he does make contact. Now the 2-0 pitch on the way, and that's taken for a strike. 2-1 the count. Dodgers got a run in the first inning. Arizona had a run erased at home plate. D. Gordon scored the run. Tony Gwynn was able to get Pollock. The next pitch from Kennedy goes all the way to the backstop. Ball 3. 3-1. Kershaw, big grin on his face, as if say, I understand. But it was difficult because it was thrown behind him. And instinctively, you want to back away, and you back away, you back right into that. So 3-1 the count to Clayton Kershaw. Kennedy ready, delivers, and it's a little high, so Kershaw wins the battle and draws the walk. Second walk issued by Kennedy.
Shortstop number 9, D. Gordon.
Now D. Gordon coming up, hit the first pitch for the base hit, and then eventually came around to score. One run, 1 hit for the Dodgers, no runs, 3 hits for the D-backs with an error thrown in. The error, Ian Kennedy's. So Gordon waiting. Here comes the pitch. He bunts sharply up along first, foul. Right into the glove of Paul Goldschmidt. So no balls and 1 strike to D. Gordon. Dodgers 15-3 at home and 12-4 in the Western Division. The Dodgers, without a doubt, the most successful home club. Tampa Bay has won 13 at home. So Kershaw held on by Goldschmidt. Nobody out. The strike 1 pitch, full swing, little ground ball to the right side. They'll get the out at first with Kershaw advancing. And we have 1 away, a runner at second. Mark Ellis coming up. Be sure to subscribe to MLB.tv today. See every Dodger out-of-market game live online and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Dodgers.com to order and get more details. MLB.tv, baseball everywhere. So here's the ever-patient Mark Ellis. Kennedy ready, delivers, and it's fouled away. 0-1 the count. You know, for Ian Kennedy to win 20 games, just 1 of 9 since 1950, to win at least 20, make 30 starts, and record no more than 4 losses. Though Mark Ellis facing a tough pitcher in Ian Kennedy. The strike 1 pitch on the way. Change, swung on and missed. He was way out in front of it. 0-2. Who are the other pitchers? Dodger Preacher Rowe, then Whitey Ford, Ron Guidry, Dwight Gooden, Roger Clemens, Mike Hampton, Pedro Martinez, and for good measure, Cliff Lee. 0-2 the count. Ellis swings, pulls it foul down the left field line, and the count stays. No balls and 2 strikes. Kennedy last year with a runner at second now working on Ellis 0-2. Boy, was he tough in jams. Here's the strike 2 pitch, and that's high. For instance, with the bases loaded, the opposition was 1 for 19. With runners in scoring position, they hit 133 against him. I mean, his numbers last year were incredible. 1-2 the count. Ian ready. Right-hander deals in there at the knees. Ellis knew it, walks away, and down he goes for the second out. So Ian Kennedy picks up his 3rd strikeout. And the batter is Bobby Abreu. Abreu actually showed bunt in the 1st inning and then eventually lined out to right field. So Bobby hitting .292 with 4 runs batted in. Abreu trying to pick up his man Kershaw with 2 out here in the bottom of the 3rd. And the first pitch in for a strike. 0-1 the count. Ian Kennedy and Bobby Abreu, they have never met until Abreu came up in the 1st inning and lined out. 0-1 the count. Ian set, another check of Kershaw. Abreu, a line drive base hit. Kershaw will stop at 3rd, and the throw hits the mound, but one-handed by Montero. So Bobby Abreu, a line drive single to center. Kershaw stopped by Wallach, and that will bring up Andre Ethier. Now for Wallach, he was halfway to home plate, and Kershaw was not being waved in and then stopped. He was stopped immediately. There was no chance they were going to try and run Kershaw. So Andre Ethier, who struck out in the 1st inning, coming up. Ethier hit .250 in his career against Kennedy, 3 for 12. 1st and 3rd, 2 out, 3rd inning. Dodgers lead 1-0. Andre, of course, carrying the big load with Matt Kemp sideline with the sore hamstring. And the first pitch inside to Andre, ball 1. Fooled on a couple of pitches in the 1st inning when he struck out. Andre hitting .299, 7 home runs, 32 runs batted in. Kennedy trailing 1-0, trying to get out of a jam. And the 1-0 pitch sliced foul off third down the line, well back into the crowd. Tomorrow night, Wade Miley and Chad Billingsley. Then the Dodgers will go to San Diego for 2 quick games and come right back to face the St. Louis Cardinals. So Chad making his mental notes right now as he's a spectator. The Cardinals in first place in the Central, 2.5 in front of Cincinnati. 1 ball and 1 strike the count. Ian Kennedy has made 48 pitches. He has Kershaw at third. He has Abreu at first. He does not have, yes, he has 1 wild pitch. High fly ball to center, but it's playable. Waiting there is A.J. Pollock to make the catch. So Ethier flips 1 to center. The Dodgers get a walk and a base hit, but nothing else. And at the end of 3, Dodgers 1, D-backs nothing. By Hyundai, the votes are in. The Hyundai Elantra is the 2012 North American Car of the Year. By AT&T, the nation's largest 4G network. AT&T, rethink possible. By CarMax, start the search for your next car at CarMax. Start here. And by Dodge. 4th inning, 1-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Clayton Kershaw running the bases, but now going to work on the familiar mound. It'll be Justin Upton, Jason Kubel, and then Paul Goldschmidt. Upton, a wonderful young ball player who is just struggling at the start this year. A strike. A couple of numbers to illustrate his struggles. With runners in scoring position, he's hitting .077. Against right-handers, 198. And if you get 2 strikes on him, he's hitting .200. So Upton, a remarkable young player, but it just shows you it's the big leagues. Even the good ones struggle. Don Baylor, a famous hitting coach, trying to help him get out of the slump. 1-2 to Justin. His dad was a baseball and football star at Norfolk State. He's now a referee in basketball games. And of course his brother, an outstanding player. Big slow breaking ball, strike 3 call. Though Upton shakes his head, walks away, and down he goes. A rainbow got him. 1 away. For Kershaw, that would be his 2nd strikeout. And it brings up Jason Kubel. Kubel hitting .301, 3 home runs, 14 runs batted in. And a strike. Jason playing left field, but he has a good arm. He can play right. That's in there. I think he thought it might have been over his head. Jason is 5'11". He's not going to grumble, but his body language tells you he wasn't happy with that one. Now the strike 2 pitch on the way is taken low and inside. When Jason was playing for the Minnesota Twins, the Chicago White Sox broadcaster Ken Harrelson called him the Beast. The pitch low in the dirt, and it seemed to stick. Now A.J. Ellis going to walk that off. Kershaw waiting, and let's see if he's all right. The plights of a catcher. He took that under the mask. It got him in the chin or the throat. 2-2 the count. Of course, Kubel, when they were talking to him about the fact they're calling you the Beast, he said, heck, I don't mind. Maybe it's the facial hair. It's better than Wolfman. He said, I've heard that before. He went to Highland High School in Palmdale. That's where the Chins picked him up. 2-2. Fastball. In 2004, Jason was the Twins minor league player of the year. They say he is very, very quiet in the clubhouse, but also very popular. Ball 3. When he finished off his cycle 2 years ago against the Angels, it was the bottom of the 8th inning when he hit the grand slam. Ball 3. Now ball 4. So a 1-out walk will bring up Paul Goldschmidt. For Kershaw, his first walk, he has struck out 2, and he's leading 1-0. Paul Goldschmidt was drafted by the Dodgers in the 49th round, but he opted to go to Texas State University. Right-hand batter. Even though he's 6'3", he shrinks up there at the plate. And ball 1. Bending in the knees and the waist. Paul went to Woodlands High School in Texas, and he set a school record there with home runs. Then he spent a summer in Alaska learning to play up there. Played a little football in junior high, and then, as he said, hit a growth spurt in his freshman year. Pops it up around the plate. A.J. Ellis gets rid of the mask at the last minute and makes the catch, which, of course, is the way to do it. The catcher on a foul ball will hold on to the mask as long as he can to make sure he doesn't step on it or trip over it. So A.J. just held it and then released it and made the catch. Take another look. Now, finally, once he knows he's under it, he can throw the mask away. So with 2 out, Miguel Montero coming up. The All-Star from last year. 2 out, 4th inning, 1-0 Dodgers. Jason Kubel did not do any running over in the American League to really speak of. The potential tying run standing there at first base. Does have 1 stolen base. Gerardo Parra is the fellow who steals for Arizona. He's stolen 8 out of 10. There he is wearing the hood. Justin Upton has stolen 5 out of 6. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Miguel Montero. Don Baylor and Upton draped on the railing. Left-handers gave Montero a bad time last year. He takes ball 2. In fact, they didn't play him very much against left-handers. One reason, he hit just 188. Miguel from Caracas. Very fluent in both English and Spanish, and that comes in handy talking to pitchers. 2-1. 2-2. Montero had 18 home runs last year, so they have to be careful with him. Kershaw got it up and in. Kershaw has allowed 5 home runs this year. Chad Billingsley, who goes tomorrow night, has allowed 6. And that will do it for Montero. Kershaw strikes out 2 in the inning to give him 3 in the game, and he still leads 1-0. Dodger Baseball is brought to you by the new wireless receiver from AT&T UVerse. Visit AT&T.com/freeyourtv. Rethink possible. By El Pollo Loco, crazy you can taste. And by Mercury Insurance. Buy a policy and get a free Dodger jersey from your local agent. Dodgers holding on to a 1-0 lead. Bottom of the 4th inning. The only run, Gordon single to left. Kennedy tried to pick him off, threw it away with D going to third. Scored on the ground ball by Mark Ellis. So here is A.J. struck out in the 2nd inning. And ball 1. The Ellis boys are certainly patient. A.J. sees almost 5 pitches per plate appearance. And Mark sees almost 4.5. So they make the pitchers work hard. A.J. hitting .313. Slice foul off first, coming over Goldschmidt, but no play. 0-1-2 the count. Tough 1-0 game, so you compare these two teams. The Dodgers in 1-run games are 10-6. Arizona in 1-run games 4-10. 1-2, slow curveball lifted to left field. Kubel is there, and we have one away. We're not going to show it now, but at least we ought to set the stage when Kershaw comes up. If you were following the Dodgers last year, the Dodgers in Arizona were playing here. Hong-Chi Kuo was pitching to Gerardo Parra, he of the Hood. And Parra hit a home run after Kuo almost hit him with a pitch. And Parra, enjoying the retaliatory home run, kind of stood at home plate, watched it, then slowly walked to first base. A.J. Ellis wasn't happy about it, and Clayton Kershaw was rather outspoken or out hollering from the Dodger dugout at Parra for standing and admiring his handiwork. So far, so good. And then later on, 1 ball and 1 strike. Later on, when Parra came up the next night against Clayton Kershaw, Kershaw nailed him. Big argument. Kershaw kicked out of the game. So was Don Mattingly. So we give you all of that to keep in mind as to why perhaps Ian Kennedy threw that first pitch behind Clayton Kershaw and threw another one way inside. Players are like elephants. They never forget. And they always feel they must retaliate, even if they hate you from another movie. 1-2 to Loney. Ground ball up the middle, base hit. So James walks and singles, and the batter will be Adam Kennedy.
Third baseman, number 3, Adam Kennedy.
So Loney usually gives Arizona pretty bad time. In his career, Loney came into this game hitting .327 against the Diamondbacks. That's his best batting average and on-base percentage against any other National League Western team. So Loney's at first, and here's Adam hit into a forced play in the second inning. Holds up, but it cost him a strike. 0-1. Kennedy a look at Wallach with 1 away. So Ian and Adam. And a little pop fly to the left side. Bloomquist is there. So Kennedy pops it up. 2 down. Loney holding at first, and Tony Gwynn will be the batter.
Center fielder, number 10, Tony Gwynn Jr.
Tony's had 2 game winners of late. Remember, he had that no ball 2 strike triple into the right field corner to beat Tim Lincecum. And he had the flare single to left on a no ball 2 strike count to score Loney. So 2 victories in the last few games against San Francisco and Colorado. And then, of course, yesterday, a tremendous diving catch in left center. Loney at first, 2 out, 4th inning, 1-0 in favor of the Dodgers. Little foul ball out of play, 0-1. Loney does not do much running. He is 0 for 1 in the stolen base category. When the D-backs come up in the 5th inning, the bottom 3 in the lineup, that would be Roberts, Pollock, and Ian Kennedy. No balls and 1 strike. In there, 0-2. Beautiful evening, 68 degrees when the game started. Hope maybe you'll find your time to be with us here tomorrow night. Wade Miley and Chad Billingsley. Since May the 2nd, Arizona's hit the skids. They've lost 9 of 11. So they're trying to get well tonight and tomorrow. Showcase fastball up and away, 93 miles an hour. So 1-2 the count to Tony, who'll be able to see his dad. We'll be in San Diego Wednesday and Thursday. One ball, 2 strikes. Tony batting .267. Now back. Tony Gwynn has only struck out 11 times, so he's pretty much of a contact hitter. Ian Kennedy, meanwhile, his strikeout to walk ratio is better than 3-1. So you have a little extra battle here in the war. 1-2. Bouncer. Nice play easily to first base from Aaron Hill, so the Dodgers no runs ahead and a man left. And at the end of 4, it's still 1-0 Dodgers. Yes, Jackie Robinson will always be remembered, but come to think of it, he's in great company, along with Roy Campanella, his buddy, and Sandy Koufax. A great trio. Ryan Roberts, followed by A.J. Pollock, and then Ian Kennedy. Arizona had a run cut down at the plate, and that's popped in the air to straightaway in shallow center. Ellis gives way for Tony Gwynn, and 1 pitch, 1 away here in the 5th. And the batter will be A.J. Pollock, who singled and then was waved in. Then Matt Williams tried to stop him, and it was too late, and Pollock was nailed at the plate. So A.J. Pollock out of Notre Dame. He was a high school player of the year in Connecticut when he was a shortstop. And a strike. His dad played rugby at Boston College, and he likes to play the guitar. He majored in sociology when he was at Notre Dame. 1 ball and 1 strike. "24 years old. AJ will be 25 in December. A good all-around player. Doesn't have any great tool, but he can play. One ball and 1 strike. He has 1 home run, 4 runs batted in, and AJ hitting .275. In the dirt. 2-1 the count. Pollock has good running speed despite the fact he was thrown out of the plate. He runs well. But what happened when that ball was hit to center, for a split second he hesitated before he broke. And the old story, he who hesitates will be thrown out at home plate. 3-1. Ground ball to Gordon. Gobbles, throws, gets him. 2 down. And the batter will be Ian Kennedy, who got the bunt down in the 3rd inning. 1-0. Favor the Dodgers in the 5th. And did that hit him? Uh-oh. Something is building up here now. And there's a caution from the plate umpire, Marvin Hudson. We told you all about what happened last year with Parra. And then we referred to the fact that Kennedy threw behind Kershaw. And now Kershaw comes up and in to just turn Kennedy around. So we got something going here. That's a strike. And remember, Clayton Kershaw will lead off in the bottom of the 5th inning. But if Kennedy throws to him, he'll be kicked out. 1-1. 2-1. There's Gerardo Parra, who is in the center stage after almost being knocked down by Hung Chi Kuo and then coming up with a home run. Gerardo Parra is a very good player. He's from Venezuela. And another strike. Three and two. And he walked him. So Kennedy threw behind Kershaw and walked him in the 3rd inning. Now Kershaw pitches tight to Kennedy and walks him here in the 5th. So the batter is Willie Bloomquist. Parra seems to be enjoying every moment of it. Gerardo Parra hit 8 home runs last year. He's an even 6, 195. We'll see plenty of him. He just turned 25. Bloomquist showing bunt. 0-1. Willie flied to right. Single to center. It looked like he tied up the game. Pollock hesitated for a split second, and Tony Gwynn nailed him at the plate. Matt Williams tried to send him home, then tried to stop him, but it was far too late. That's in there. 0-2 to Willie. No balls, 2 strikes. Half swing on the big slow curveball to strike him out. So no runs, no hits, a man left. It's still 1-0 Dodgers. throws one up at Parr's head. Parr doesn't say anything except swing and admire a home run. Well, that ticked off the Dodgers after Parr hit it. And then A.J. had something to say, and Kershaw had something to say. Then Kershaw seemed to throw at Parr. He's going to argue. He's kicked out. The manager's automatically kicked out. Now Kennedy worked inside. Then Kennedy had the next one fouled away. And if you remember, the pitch came behind Kershaw. So then Kershaw spun Kennedy around. Well, now here they are again. And an 0-1 count, now 0-2. Of course, Kennedy can't afford to come anywhere close to Kershaw, because if that's interpreted by the plate umpire, he and Gibson are kicked out. The plate umpire, by the way, Marvin Hudson, been umpiring for 12 and a half years in the big leagues. Went to Piedmont College. He's out of Georgia. 2-2. And down goes Kershaw. So one away here in the fifth inning. Ian Kennedy picks up his fourth strikeout. Clayton Kershaw has 4 strikeouts, and they're even in more ways than one. And here's D. Gordon. Single to left, scored the only run on Kennedy's throwing error in an attempt to pick him off, and then last time up, grounded out. D batting .215. In there. 1 run, 3 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits for the D-backs, and 1 very big error. 1-1. One and two. Dodgers lead 1-0, bottom of the fifth inning. And Gordon appeared to be overpowered by those 94-mile-an-hour fastballs. 2 out in the fifth, 5 strikeouts for Ian Kennedy. And the batter, Mark Ellis, who grounded out and struck out. Mark's 0 for 2. Way out in front of the breaking ball, 0-1. When the Diamondbacks come up in the 6th, Hill, Upton, and Kubel. And after Kubel, Goldschmidt. Way out in front of the change. That's what struck him out last at bat. 0-2 to Mark. One and two. Mark Ellis batting .267. He has 1 home run. Remember, he hit that against Jamie Moyer. 8 runs batted in. Ground ball to short. Bloomquist charges it and takes care of him. So quickly the Dodgers go 1-2-3, and at the end of 5 it remains 1-0 Dodgers. Don Drysdale started it. He shut out the Cubs 1-0, allowed only 2 hits and struck out 7, then proceeded to have 5 more shutouts, 2 against Houston, 1 against St. Louis, 1 against San Francisco, and another against Pittsburgh. 20 years later, Orel Hershiser had 59. Let's go back to this one. One to nothing in favor of the Dodgers. Aaron Hill flied to left, popped to short, 0 for 2. And he has to count his way now, 2 balls and no strikes. Interesting that Hill popped up in the 3rd inning. That's ball 3. Would you believe he is the 2nd highest in percentages of plate appearances to infield pop flies? And ball 4. So the tying run is aboard with nobody out. A reminder, be sure to bring the kids to Dodger Stadium Sunday at 5 o'clock. The Dodgers and Cardinals, and the first 15,000 kids 14 and under in attendance receive their very own power necklace, compliments of Wetzel's Pretzels. For tickets, go to Dodgers.com/promotions. Okay, Justin Upton, a world full of talent, hitting just .230, 3 home runs, 9 runs batted in. He used to put the first pitch in play a lot. Let's see. Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Little foul. Loney can't get it. Hold on, James. So Upton reverts to what he normally does, goes after the first pitch, but fouls it off. He's been a totally different hitter, and Loney came this close, ticked his glove. 0-1 to Justin Upton. You have Hill at first, nobody out. 1-0 Dodgers, 6th inning. Hill has stolen 3 out of 4, but as we told you, Arizona is not a contact hitting ball club. Upton has struck out 34 times. And a little pop fly. This time Loney will catch it and lets it drop, throws to first. They'll get the out at first. That's all. They could have thrown the ball to second and gotten the force play, but being forced is Hill. Since Upton got to the bag, Hill has to leave. And it's a force play, basically Mark Ellis. So 3-4 from Loney to Ellis. That's the 2nd time, remember. The only difference, Upton, although he was furious and slammed the bat, did run down the line. And it was a heads-up play for Hill. He stayed where he was. Upton had gotten to the bag. As you can see, Hill had to leave, and so he's gone, and Upton stays at first. Now, there's one difference in that. Hill has stolen 3. Upton has stolen 5 out of 6. So that decision might hurt if Upton indeed steals. We'll see. I mean, it's okay to play that kind of a play with a slow runner left on the base. Or if you, like the other night, the hitter is angry and doesn't run down the line. But now you have a guy who can motor in Justin Upton. He stole 21 last year. And remember, he's the tying run. And sure enough, there he goes. Ellis's throw. He is in there. So what appeared to be a heads-up play really turns out not to be. I mean, if you are Don Mattingly, you would certainly rather have Hill running than Justin Upton. So Upton steals second, and Kubel trying to pick him up. Jason batting .301, and Hill has a chance to think about it. 0-1. Breaking ball in the dirt. Kershaw has struck out 4. He has walked 3, including the pitcher, Ian Kennedy. 1 ball and 1 strike. Kershaw really has to worry about Upton. One thing that has plagued Kirk Gibson, his ball club. Very close, and again Upton back. What has plagued Arizona, and it almost got him again, you know that Arizona has had 7 runners picked off. But Gibby, a very aggressive player in his own right, and he wants that for his players. 1-1. Fastball hit late down the left field line. Coming across in the corner to make the catch is Abreu. Upton has to stay at second. So 2 down in the 6th inning, and the batter, Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt popped up, fouled out, 0 for 2.
Batting next, first baseman, number 44, Paul Goldschmidt.
Arizona has a pretty young ball club. They have a lot of fellas 27 and under. And ball 1. Coming into this game, they are below the average in scoring men in scoring position. So Gibson, at least for the moment, pretty frustrated. Diamondbacks continue to spin their wheels, and they've had 1 man thrown out at the plate. That was in the 3rd inning. Tony Gwynn making the throw, and A.J. Pollock the victim at the plate. In the dirt, a block by A.J., and Justin Upton holds on. 2-0 the count to Paul Goldschmidt. Nice defensive play. A.J. pushing the ball out in front so that the play is in front of him. Boy, how many times I sat around in Vero Beach watching Roy Campanella. Blocking and blocking and more blocking, and always the idea being blocking with a runner on base, push the ball out in front of the plate, and keep the play in front of you. Number 39, the nice man from a section in Philadelphia called, appropriately enough, Nice Town. 2-0 to Goldschmidt, hitting .222. That's a strike. 2-1. Kershaw has made 87 pitches, and he's in the 6th inning. Fouled away. 2-2. Goldschmidt, pretty patient hitter, averages a little more than 4 pitches at bat. He does swing and miss a lot. Two and two. And got him where he swings and misses the line. So no runs, no hits, a man left. Somewhat of a questionable play by Loney, but they got away with it, and it's still 1-0 Dodgers. In favor of the Dodgers, match them up. Not much to choose. The error by Ian Kennedy trying to pick off D. Gordon is really the difference in the game. Now Bobby Abreu, Andre Ethier, and A.J. Ellis against Ian Kennedy. Off speed for a strike. Abreu lined out to right and then singled sharply to center, sending Kershaw to third, but then Ethier flied to center to end the inning. 1-0 Dodgers, each side with 3 hits. Late breaking pitch and catches the corner. Boy, that is a major league pitch. About 78 miles an hour. You quit on it, and at the last second, it catches a corner. 0-2. Outfield playing Bobby straightaway. So we've seen him line out to right, single to center, and he had that double yesterday to left center. This time to center and into the glove of A.J. Pollock. 1 away. And that'll bring up Andre Ethier. Ethier struck out in the first inning and fly deep to center in the third. Kennedy has now reached the 80 pitch mark. Andre batting .297. And another one of those late breaking off speed pitches at 77. 0-1. Ethier 0 for 2 tonight, so in his career he would be 3 for 14 against Kennedy. 1 away, bottom of the 6th. When the D-backs come up in the 7th, they'll have Montero, Roberts, and Pollock. Fastball and a high drive to right field, carrying very well and gone. So after some off-speed breaking balls, he got a fastball and was all over it. And the Dodgers lead 2-0. Andre's 8th home run. So for Adam Kennedy, that would be the 5th home run that he has allowed. And there's that picture-perfect swing of Andre Ethier and a no doubt about it conclusion halfway up the pavilion. Now the batter is A.J. Ellis. Ball 1. So Andre, who was really mixed up in his first at-bat, chased a couple of pitches off the plate and struck out, but then starting to read him, and that's going to go down in the corner. Upton tries to get it, can't do it, though A.J. is still there. Then remember, Ethier in the 3rd inning hit the ball pretty hard to dead center and then got the fastball he was looking for and hits it in the pavilion. Love to see him swing the bat no matter the result. It's just picture. 1 ball and 1 strike. A.J. is struck out, fly to left. Check swing for a strike. 2-0 Dodgers, bottom of the 6th. Two runs, 4 hits for the Dodgers. No runs, 3 hits for the D-backs. Fastball hit into right center, base hit. So the fastball is not fooling the Dodger hitters at all, even though it is at 94. So Ellis goes 1 for 3 with a base hit, and the batter will be James Loney. A.J. now has reached safely 24 straight and 27 of the last 28. Here's James, walked and singled. As we mentioned earlier when he was up, he loves to hit against Arizona pitching. Coming into the game, his career batting average .327, and he's 1 for 1 tonight. Kennedy is also due to bat fourth when the D-backs hit in the seventh, so he's on the edge both ways. Adam came in with a record of 3-2, 3-1 lifetime against the Dodgers. Craig Breslow, a left-hander, begins to throw now in the D-backs bullpen. And there goes the runner. A perfect hit-and-run base hit by Loney. On his way to third is A.J. Ellis. Willie Bloomquist, the shortstop, broke to cover with A.J. going, and Loney hit it right through the vacated spot. So with one out, you have the home run by Ethier, singles by Ellis, and you can see Bloomquist breaking, so Loney just keeps on going. And A.J. Ellis goes to third. Nice hit and run play. Loney just owns Arizona. I mean, he's 2 for 2 tonight. He's probably hitting around .340 in his career against Arizona. He has the best average and on-base percentage against Arizona than any other team in the West. A.J. Ellis huffing and puffing after being behind the plate. All right, they've had their meeting. Kennedy trying to survive the inning. Charles Nagy was out there talking to him. And here's Adam Kennedy, who hit into a force play, popped to short. Now, we saw Adam squeeze yesterday. And Montero out there in front of the plate reminding everything. A lot going on here. We'll watch Ellis to see if indeed it is a squeeze. Tony Gwynn on deck. And they're thinking about it. They have a left-hander in the pen, and they have another left-hand hitter on deck, Tony Gwynn. 2-0 Dodgers, looking for more here in the sixth. Watching Ellis. He is not coming. Strike. 0-1. Adam Kennedy has 3 runs batted in. He has a couple of sacrifices, so we'll watch again. 0-1. Roberts about even with the bag at third. Ellis is not coming. Full swing foul. No balls and 2 strikes. Tomorrow night, Wade Miley and Chad Billingsley. Beautiful evening at the ballpark. 68 degrees when the game started. Oh, and 2. And a full swing foul. Still 0-2. Meanwhile, Clayton Kershaw has a chance to take it easy. Clayton has made 89 pitches up to here. Andre Ethier just made things a little easier for him. 0-2 to Adam Kennedy. Off the plate. 1-2. Fastballs hurt him. Ethier homered. Ellis single. Then the Dodgers put the hit and run play on Kirk Gibson, and Loney a perfect single to left. 1-2 the count to Adam Kennedy. A look, a fake. Kennedy asking Montero to go over the signs again. One ball, 2 strikes, and now Montero wants to go out there. Kennedy due to bat 4th in the 7th inning, and Montero will lead it off. So Gibson has Breslow, the left-hander, in the pen as he talks to Nagy, his pitching coach, and he had been at the side of Alex Trammell. Meanwhile, Kennedy up there 1-2. Again, watching Ellis, and that makes it 2-2. That fastball really was a poor pitch for Kennedy. Of course, he's been burned by the fastball in the inning. So 2-2 the count. Ian facing Adam. A.J. Ellis at third. Loney at first. Full swing fly ball into left center. Pollock is there and makes the catch. He forgot how many outs, and tagging up to score easily is Ellis. He looked awfully casual on that fly ball and just threw it into second base. Normally, on that kind of a play, you would expect Pollock to catch the ball on the dead run and start to throw to the plate. Maybe he just felt he didn't have to play at all anyway. So Kennedy succeeds in hitting the ball in the air and gets A.J. Ellis home. And the Dodgers say thank you and lead 3-0. And the batter is Tony Gwynn with James Loney at first. Tony has popped up, grounded out, 0 for 2, hitting .262. Dodgers trying to win their 5th in a row and trying to administer the 3rd straight loss to Arizona. 3 runs, 6 hits for the Dodgers, no runs, 3 hits for the D-backs. One thing about the D-backs, they have not been shut out. That's a strike. So for Gibson, trying to come up with something along with his trusted aide, Alan Trammell. 1-1 to count. Fastball pulled and smothered by Goldschmidt. Nice play by Paul for the final out, but not before the Dodgers get a home run from Andre Ethier, a hit and run single by Loney, and a fly ball by Kennedy to pick up 2 and lead 3-0. now have a somewhat comfortable 3-0 lead, and the fly ball by Adam Kennedy certainly helped. Miguel Montero takes the strike. Interesting game pitched by Clayton Kershaw so far. The strike one pitch missing. Clayton has had as many 3-ball counts, that would be 6 of them, as swings and misses, 6. He's had only 4 0-2 counts, and yet here he is working on a 3-hit shutout. He does not appear overpowering, and we've seen him in the past, but he has struck out 5, and he has walked 3. In there. Montero has struck out twice. Miguel batting .265, 2 home runs, 17 runs batted in. Fastball hit to the right side. Mark Ellis is on that for 1 away. Well, we have a trivia question for you, and it is a tough one. Who are the 4 current or former Dodgers to hit 560 or more career doubles? If you know that, you are a rather amazing student of the game. Ball 1. There's a little inside interesting story when the Dodgers and the Arizona Diamondbacks get together, and it involves Mattingly, Baylor, and Gibson. If Don Mattingly were ever to win Manager of the Year, and he might very well, he would join Don Baylor and Kirk Gibson in the rare company of major leaguers to win an MVP as a player and then the Manager of the Year. Off speed for a strike. Only Baylor and Gibson, Frank Robinson, and Joe Torre have won both awards. So it'll be interesting to see if Mattingly can do it too. Fastball whacked into left field. Well, the gun's wrong. They have that 107. I don't think so. But Roberts will take it.
Center fielder, number 11, A.J.
Now here comes A.J. Pollock, and he was thrown out at the plate in the 3rd inning. A base hit to Gwynn, and Pollock started to be waved in. Then they tried to stop him, and it was too late. A.J. Ellis put the tag on him, and if anybody had to say, well, it was my mistake, it's probably Matt Williams. Pollock grounded out last time up. 0-1 the count. Coming out on deck now as a pinch hitter, Cody Ransom. So Ransom would bat for Kennedy. We're in the 7th. Dodgers lead 3-0. One ball and 1 strike. A.J. Pollock, the 4th. And the J, as we mentioned earlier, his initial should be A.L. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ground foul. His middle name is Lorenz, so it would be Alan Lorenz the 4th. But he says no, he's a junior, so forget Lorenz. And he's A.J. 1-2 the count. Ryan Roberts at first. We're in the 7th inning, and the Dodgers lead 3-0. Breaking ball fouled off. Big overhand curveball. Pollock out of Notre Dame. When he signed with the Diamondbacks just a couple of years ago, he got a big bonus, so it'll have to be very high. He was a 1st-round pick. One and two. And there goes the runner. The pitch way inside. The throw on a bounce. And Roberts steals it. For Ryan Roberts, he is now 3 for 3 in stolen bases. And a little meeting at the mound. So you had Justin Upton steal second in the 6th inning. And now Roberts here in the 7th. Meanwhile, Pollock with the count 2-2 as Upton looks on. Miley and Billingsley tomorrow night. 2-2. Fastball. 3-2. Pollock, 24 years old. He'll be 25 come December. From Connecticut. 3-2. Fastball hit and a one-hopper backhanded by Loney. And over to third goes Ryan Roberts. So Pollock hits it hard, but Loney is there to stop it. And now here comes Cody Ransom.
Your attention, please, for the Diamondback.
You may remember the name Ransom.
Cody Ransom.
He was originally signed by the Giants, and he came up with them. He was up in 01, 03, 04. Eventually went to the Astros. Then he spent 2 years with the Yankees. Popped up 2 years ago with the Phillies. And he's been with the Diamondbacks since last year. His brother, Troy, was picked by the Giants way back in 1999. And what a way for him to break in. 0-1. In August of 2008, Cody Ransom became the first player to hit a home run in his first 2 at-bats for the Yankees. That year, he hit 2 more and settled for 4. 0-1. Ransom is a very good bunter, but with 2 out here in the 7th inning, you certainly wouldn't expect that. Very fine defensive player, and Roberts coming down the line from third. Off speed, great change for a strike. That comes up there at 74 miles an hour, a big spinner. Earlier in April, Cody Ransom had a kidney stone. Terrible pain, but kept trying to focus on the job, but down he goes. So Kershaw picks up his 6th strikeout. They leave Roberts at third, and at the end of 6.5, it's still 3-0 Dodgers. The crowd will now say for God Bless America, but Ian Kennedy won't be hearing it. He's heading back to the clubhouse.
Please rise and join in the singing of God Bless America. Accompanied by Nancy B. Please welcome back Tinashe.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies, to the oceans wide with foam. God bless America, my home sweet home. God bless America.
Mark Ellis had an RBI, cashing in Gordon. Andre Ethier hit the home run, and you had Adam Kennedy scoring fly ball to pick up A.J. Ellis. They'll put it all together along with Clayton Kershaw, allowing just 4 hits and no runs. And the Dodgers take a 3-0 lead with smiles all around. Justin Sellers will now come up to bat for Kershaw. So it'll be Sellers, Gordon, and Mark Ellis against the left-hander Craig Breslow. Breslow out of New Haven, Connecticut, and went to school at Yale University. Sellers a strike, and they count 0-1. Josh Lindblom is warming up in the Dodger bullpen. And that's popped foul out of play. Justin hitting 174. Craig Breslow is a very interesting guy going to Yale University. Among other things, he has degrees in molecular biophysics and chemistry. But there was a big reason. Fisted foul. When Breslow was 11 years old, his sister Leslie, then 13, was diagnosed with thyroid cancer, and that really blindsided him. He was really shaken up. And a year earlier, he had broken his wrist, and he watched an orthopedic surgeon put a cast on and marveled that in 6 weeks it healed. So because of those 2 experiences, that drove him toward medicine and a desire to become a doctor. But the problem was he turned out to be a heck of a ball player. He was a winning pitcher in the Connecticut State Little League title game. Went to Yale hoping to prepare for a medical school. Justin Sellers, meanwhile, 1-2 the count. Anyway, to get back, since Breslow is interesting, he went to Yale, but his baseball accomplishments got in the way. Finally, he was drafted by the Brewers. He was the first Yale player to reach the major leagues since Ron Darling with the Mets. That will do it for Sellers. Then 2 years later, Milwaukee released him, and he was then prepared. He was going to go to NYU, but the school would only accept him if he stopped playing baseball, and he wasn't ready to do that. So then he went to a San Diego tryout camp in Arizona. They signed him, and eventually here he is. He does have a foundation, however, as Gordon tries to drag one. 0-1 the count. Craig Breslow has a Strike 3 Foundation. That's a charitable agency whose goal is to heighten awareness and raise money for pediatric cancer research. He made a terrible mistake when he was with the Padres. He went on the road carrying a suit bag with a big Y for Yale on it. Trevor Hoffman got all over him and said, yeah, we know you're smarter than we are, but you don't have to bring a Yale Garmin bag just to show us up. Anyway, very interesting guy, Craig Breslow. And he has 1 out here in the 7th inning. Molecular biophysics. Specializing in stem cell research. 1 ball and 2 strikes. 2-2. So Clayton Kershaw talking about Ted Billy about pitching. Of course, pitchers, it seems like, only talk to pitchers. Fastball sliced down the line, curling foul and out of play. Whoops. Nice try, pal. Just don't get hurt. So Gordon back to try it again. D batting .214, single to left, scored a run, grounded out and struck out Sims. Dodgers holding on to a 3-0 lead. And down goes Gordon. So Breslow comes in to strike out 2. Remember that trivia question? I don't know how in the world you know, but maybe you do. Who are the 4 current or former Dodgers to hit 560 or more career doubles?
Second baseman, number 14, Mark.
Luis Gonzalez, Bobby Abreu, Jeff Kent, and Eddie Murray. And talking about Abreu, he's on deck as Mark Ellis checks in at the plate. 0-1 to Mark, 0 for 3 with a run batted in. When the D-backs come up in the 8th inning, it'll be the top of the order. Bloomquist, Hill, and Upton. Upton single to right, struck out, and reached on the pop fly when Upton hit it in the air and Loney allowed it to drop, and then Hill was nailed at first base. Fastball hit in the air to left center. It's playable, and it will be the center fielder Pollock. So the Dodgers go quietly. Nice job turned in by Craig Breslow, and we're heading to the 8th. 3-0 Dodgers. Games last year, banging heads tonight, and so far through 7, it's Clayton Kershaw leading 3-0, and Ian Kennedy going out for a pinch hitter, as did Clayton. In looking at their numbers, Kershaw with a half a dozen strikeouts, Kennedy with 5. Kennedy committed an error, allowing 1 of the 3 runs, but he also surrendered the home run to Ethier. For Kershaw, he pretty much stuffed Arizona. He allowed 1 man to get the 3rd, and he allowed 1 man who was cut down at the plate. So now Josh Lindblom will pick up, and for the D-backs who have not been shut out this year, Bloomquist, Hill, and Upton. Willie Bloomquist flied to right, single to center, and struck out. One ball and no strikes. For Bloomquist, playing a valuable position at short, and of course the fella they really miss, and it's no knock on Willie, but they certainly miss Stephen Drew. Stephen Drew last year had the most horrific, it wasn't a broken ankle, might have healed quicker if it had been broken. Big chopper up the middle behind the bag at second base to make the play is Mark Ellis. So Bloomquist retired on a nice play by Mark Ellis. 1 out in the 8th inning. Ball was not hit hard. Mark was able to catch up to it and got his man. So now Aaron Hill. Flied to left, popped to short, was standing at first when Upton hit the pop fly. Loney allowed it to drop. Upton ran it out and was safe at first. And even though Hill had never left the bag, he had nowhere to go and he had to leave. Upton will be hitting right behind Hill. And a high fly ball into deep left center. That's got a chance and it is gone. So the D-backs have not been shut out. Aaron Hill hits it out. And remember, that came after the nice play by Mark Ellis. So Lindblom gives up the home run. Dodger lead is now 3-1 for Aaron Hill, his 5th home run of the year. And for Josh Lindblom, the 3rd home run that he's allowed. So the batter now is Justin Upton as Hill comes back after hitting it out. 3-1 in favor of the Dodgers. 8th inning, 1 away. Upton single to right, struck out, reached on the fielder's choice, the pop fly, and a strike. Upton means so much to the D-backs, hitting in the number 3 slot. 0-2. Of course, things really hurt when Chris Young crashed into the wall and hurt his shoulder. They haven't been the same club since. You know, a year ago today, the Diamondbacks were 15-22, 4th place. They had lost 5 straight 1-run games. They had a meeting here at Dodger Stadium. They won that night 1-0 and turned things around. They won the West, winning 94. So for Kirk Gibson, I'm sure he reminded his team about that, the 1-year anniversary. 2-2. And ball 3. On deck, Jason Kubel, who has popped up, walked and flied to left. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Scott Elbert, the left-hander. 3-2 to Upton. And that's popped in the air, back of first, down the line. A trio of Dodgers, and it will be the middleman, Mark Ellis. So Upton fouls out. Another nice play in the inning by Mark Ellis. So, you know, you can join the Dodgers Saturday, the Dodger Stadium 50th Anniversary Fan Fest, presented by State Farm. Autographs, music, live entertainment, games, and more. Gates open at noon prior to the game with the Cardinals at 7:10. Entry is included with your ticket to the game. Visit Dodgers.com/50th, and we will see you Saturday. Strike. Jason 0 for 2 with a walk, hitting .298. One ball and 1 strike. On deck, Paul Goldschmidt. Way out in front of it. 1-2. Josh Lindblom coming in to pick up for Kershaw. Lindblom with an ERA under 2. And down goes Kubel. Down go the D-backs. They did get the home run by Aaron Hill. And at the end of 7.5, 3-1 Dodgers. 1 lead, bottom of the 8th inning. Tomorrow night, Wade Miley with a record of 3-1. Chad Billingsley with a record of 2-2. And you can see the opposition hitting only .218 against Miley, a left-hander. Dodgers then will go down to San Diego for 2 and hope you'll be with us on the weekend with the St. Louis Cardinals. Meanwhile, bottom of the 8th, and Bobby Abreu against the left-hander Craig Breslow. Give you everything about Breslow except his blood type. Abreu, meanwhile, is 1 for 3. And hits a fly ball to center. It's playable. Pollock is there. So 1 away. Andre Ethier had struck out and had flied to center and then got a fastball around the knees, and he hit it halfway up the pavilion. And leading the cheers, Matt Kemp. So Andre now has 8 home runs, 33 runs batted in 34 and a half games. And Matt, they also serve, who only stand and wait. In the dirt, ball 1. See about Breslow and Ethier. They have never faced each other. And that's going to hit into right field, and that will be a base hit for Ethier. He'll round and hold. So Andre goes 2 for 4. Dodgers continue to get men on base. In fact, they've been retired in order only once in the 7th inning. So Ethier, 2 more hits. And here's A.J. Ellis. Struck out, fly to left, single to right to keep his string alive. A.J. has reached in 24 straight and 27 of the last 28. Down in the Dodger bullpen, Kenley Jansen begins to tune up. One out, 8th inning, 3-1 Dodgers. That misses. 1 ball, 1 strike. So last year, the Diamondbacks won 10 of 18 from the Dodgers and 6 of the 9 here. And for Kirk Gibson and Alan Trammell, Dodgers turn it around on him tonight, leading all the way, starting with a run in the 1st inning. Fastball hit to right field. Upton is there. Well, that ball carried pretty well. A.J. hit it hard. 2 down. So take a look at where the Dodgers are going in. They were leading the Giants by 6, Arizona by 8.5. The Giants and the Rockies in San Francisco are tied 1-1 in the 8th inning. San Diego a dozen back, and the Dodgers will go after them Wednesday and Thursday. So 2 down. Here's Loney. Continues his great hitting against Arizona. He walked in the 2nd inning, single to center in the 4th, single to left in the 6th. Perfectly executed hit and run play. James now has more career hits against Arizona, 105, than against any other club. He has 104 against Colorado. He's hitting .331 against Arizona in his career, .301 against Colorado. He's also hitting with fewer at-bats, .344 against Cincinnati and .346 against Philadelphia. 0-1. Scott Van Slyke comes out on deck to bat for Lindblom. So Big Scott, who has done a lot in a limited amount of time. Remember, he got his first major league hit, picked up his first RBI, picked up a stolen base. also picked up a walk. 0-2 to Loney. Loney 0 for 1 in the pass against Breslow. 1 ball and 2 strikes. When the D-backs come up for the last call in the 9th inning, Goldschmidt, Montero, and Roberts. And that would be against Kenley Jansen, who's getting ready. 1-2. 2-2. Boy, it's marvelous to watch a successful hit and run play. And that happened for the Dodgers in the 6th. A.J. Ellis single to right, hit and run. Shortstop Bloomquist broke to cover at second, and the base hit went right by the spot vacated. Not this time, as Loney chases public enemy 1, the curveball, and that's it. No runs, a hit, a man life. Enter Kenley Jansen, 9th inning, 3-1 Dodgers. Going to the 9th inning, and a reminder, tomorrow the Dodgers and the Diamondbacks, and come on out and receive your very own Oral Hershiser bobblehead, compliments of Coca-Cola. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. I would say it's the best bobblehead I've ever seen as far as exact likeness. I don't think I've seen any better than that. So come on over, and one of those will be yours, and Oral will be here to throw out the first ball. Meanwhile, Kenley Jansen hopes to throw out the last ball. A 2-0 record, 3 saves, and he'll be facing Goldschmidt, Montero, and Roberts. Kenley Jansen, the big boy out of Curacao. Goldschmidt is hitting .220, has 2 home runs and 15 runs batted in. You know what the opposition is hitting against Kenley Jansen? .141. 18 innings, he struck out 30. And a strike. Starts out 92. Goldschmidt popped to second, fouled out, struck out. 0 for 3, hitting .220. In left field, Scott Van Slyke replacing Bobby Abreu. Inside, 1-1. If you're keeping score, I would assume Van Slyke would go into the spot originally occupied by Adam Kennedy and Josh Lindblom, so that if there were to be a bottom of the 9th, Van Slyke would lead off the inning. And you would put Jansen in Abreu's spot. 1-1. 94, but low. 2-1. Dodgers trying to win their 5th in a row. Diamondbacks trying to avoid their 3rd straight loss. 2-1. And ball 3. For Jansen, as hard as he throws, 30 strikeouts, he's only walked 8, and Miguel Montero waits on deck. The crowd tonight, 24,312. 24,312. Fastball missed. So Goldschmidt, whoops. Goldschmidt heading for first, instead 3-2. Well, he thought sure it was ball 4. And hit foul upstairs. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. He was looking for it. Waiting on deck, Montero, the left-hand batter, and then the right-hand hitting Ryan Roberts. Three and 2. And a little slicing foul. Loney might have a play. Leans in. Made the catch. Couldn't make one earlier, but he knows the territory like the Music Man. Grab the railing, lean, backhanded. Fine play by James Loney, and 1 out. So all Loney has done tonight is have a walk, 2 singles, hit and run single that set up a run, now making a fine defensive play. Here's Miguel Montero. He was 0 for 3 against Kershaw, striking out twice. And a high strike. Montero with 2 home runs. Ryan Roberts hitting back of him has 2. 1 out in the 9th, 3-1 Dodgers. Breeze blowing from right to left, which is a little different. 0-2. The prevailing wind certainly left to right, but going the other way right now. Tomorrow night, Wade Miley, Chad Billingsley, Game 2. Oral Hershiser night. No balls and 2 strikes. And a little flare going down the line. Foul. Oh, what a catch. Hold on. Whoa. Justin Sellers. Unbelievable. Gee whiz. And he's okay. And gets an ovation. Marvelous play by Justin Sellers. So first you see Loney go to the railing, and then you see Sellers go over the railing. Gloves it, can't stop, and rolls in. And thank goodness he's okay. Highlight play by Justin Sellers. Yeah, I'll bet you he'll feel that a little bit tomorrow. So 2 down, Ryan Roberts a strike. Ian Kennedy stands to lose. Ian, remember, last year was 10-0 against the National League West, and he was 2-0 against the West this year. But it looks like he will finally lose to a National League Western team. With plays like Loney and now Sellers, you can understand. Boy, that was a good play by Loney and a great play by Sellers. Roberts is 1 for 3, Flied to center twice. Single to left, stole a base. 1-1 to Ryan. Fastball missed at 94. 2-1. 3 runs, 7 hits. No errors for the Dodgers. On the contrary, some excellent defensive plays. 1 run, 5 hits, 1 error for the D-backs that contributed to the first inning run. 2-1 to Ryan Roberts. And popped up and up and up. Big league pop fly. And it will be Loney. Kenley Jansen was calling for Mark Ellis, but Loney made the catch. And the boys pretty happy, especially about those defensive plays. Wow. The Sellers getting a hero's greeting. Jansen makes only 14 pitches to end it, and the Dodgers win game 1. And that knocks Arizona 9.5 games behind the Dodgers after 36 games. Tomorrow on KCAL 9, Wade Miley and Chad Billingsley. Stay tuned now for Dodgers Live coming up next. Good night, everybody.